Now we move on to the next team, WA04 from Rachna Sanchad School of Architecture, Mumbai, Vipragara, uh, Avani Manpe, Siddharth Agarwal, Vinay Ekaldevi. So now your time starts, WA04.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Staggered, a design proposal for today's staggering realities. Good afternoon, respected jury. We start by explaining our concepts. The architectural value of the design mainly lies in creating a happy and spirited atmosphere in times of complete loss of hope. We play with symbolism here by taking inspiration from the chemical compound of serotonin, which is the hormone that stabilizes our feelings of happiness. The design was thereon evolved, giving extra priority. The next thing we did was make a word cloud for this pandemic. The words used and felt most during the pandemic were containment and outbreak. The same words are taken ahead to implement the planning of necessary breakout spaces, but in a contained manner. Different spatial connections and networks were considered to create central voids and to open up the volume. The construction strategy was as follows. First, a standardized grid is established for every floor plate across the uneven arms. Second, modules are introduced for fast construction. Ultimately, a hybrid construction technique is developed. As stated by WHO, clinical interventions must be provided according to the epidemiologic profile, as shown in the triangle. Flexibility is kept at the hem of the design, as we all saw how unpredictable the whole pandemic has been. The structure is planned with repeating floor plates and efficient services that help in inverting the use of spaces if adversities arise. Next. Site areas in the need of healthcare centers. That's how we came to the Pimpri Chinchwad area in Pune district. We also did a lot of research in terms of where new quarantine facilities were being established so that centers can provide healthcare support to them. Here, there is also optimal use of a site which is lying absolutely obsolete during the time of the pandemic, which otherwise plays host to farmer trade fairs. Within the site, driveways are well established, leading to desired areas. The oxygen storage and incinerator are placed at opposite ends to keep away the toxic waste. Doctor's residence is planned as a G+1 structure, which is close to the doctor's entry at the back. The mortuary is also separated. While developing the form, central voids were created in the hospital blocks to provide for courtyards and to also the central arm has several main functions and hence is wider, while the other arms house ancillary areas and are sized accordingly. The block is kept as one consolidated structure for extremely smooth transition of spaces as required in an infectious disease hospital. Vertical development was preferred in two main arms, while the front arms are kept low to optimize views for the whole structure and to also get maximum light into the courtyards. Next slide. Proper phases of construction were set for the design. A hybrid construction was opted for to achieve the desired form system with a floor-to-floor and wall-to-wall construction, while the ward floors follow a modular stacking system. The seamless canopy is added towards the end. Next slide. So talking about the planning, for us, it was always about the users of this program. Every space was first visualized by us as if we were patients. We constantly asked each other if we would like to step into this space, and if we did, how would we feel and function? So spatial planning was given utmost thought and is done with a lot of integrity. The ground floor planning strategizes the spread of arms to provide various access points for different users. There are four main cores, one for relatives, one for doctors, for patients, and for the service to avoid infectious crossovers. The driveway leads you to the patient entry, which is placed in the center. And when the patients enter, they enter in a triage area for initial assessment. Your optimal waiting areas have been designed, giving social distancing main impetus. The waiting area spills out into the right courtyard. The testing area after that has several which are essential in need of mass testing and also now can be used for vaccination drives. After the testing, the patient has to wait. So he waits inside or outside in the courtyard. Another waiting is provided for the family, meanwhile, which is separated by a glass screen for only visual contact. The diagnostics is placed in proximity to testing and emergency. The emergency zone in red has direct access with a driveway for the ambulance. It includes the emergency OT and critical wards. Once recovered, if need be, patients are taken to the physiotherapy wing or are discharged. A separate lift for the discharge is given, which comes out onto a long walkway. The intent here was to provide for a significant exit after the battle ends. Every entity entering the hospital is suspected to be positive. So the disinfecting chambers are placed at all entry points. The staff entries are also separated with the admin on the left and the healthcare workers on the right. And finally, the service area at the back houses the sterile supply department, the laundry, and is internally accessed via the courtyard through the service door and externally via the road for loading and unloading purposes. Next floor. The first floor has the OT services with pre and post operative areas planned with a sealed off sterile zone. There are proper donning and doffing units for doctors before they enter any of these sterile areas. The labs are also accessed by a separate lift designated for transport of specimens from the ground floor. The blood bank and the storage is strategically placed close to the OT in case of emergency. Doctors, we feel, are the ultimate warriors over here. So providing relief spaces and decks for them was given necessary thought. The entire blue zone, as you see, is dedicated to doctors. We feel after spending countless hours on duty, it's imperative that there is a place you can go back to and rejuvenate. So the staff canteen is also connected to the kitchen, which has a service lift that connects to the upper floors. Yeah, done. Next floor. The second floor is allotted for severe patients, the third for moderate cases, and the fourth for the mild ones. All three floors have the same layout. And the floor plate is divided into main two segments, the general ward and the private ward. One general ward unit has 4 beds placed within an 8x8 grid, while the private rooms have 1, 2, and 3 bedded modules separated by corridor modules, which are 4-meter wide. Both ward units are placed such that they overlook into the courtyard and have maximum external connect to, to optimize the use of light and views for the isolated patients, which is desirable. All circulation spaces have been doubled to space out and reduce infectious crossovers. This also gives the indoors a space of openness. Sanitization stations are also placed outside every unit, while nurse stations are provided at strategic focal points for apt surveillance. Also, the doctor's lift opens out into a sealed doctor's lobby where donning and doffing units are provided before they step out into the sterile zones of the wards. Yes, next slide. The 5th floor is mostly for quarantined patients. As you see, the purple zone highlights the space thoughtfully designed for the interaction amongst family members and loved ones. This is a concept we wanted to introduce under extreme precautions and with separating screens. We read about a lot of instances wherein patients were seen to flee quarantine facilities due to boredom or longing of family. So we thought it is essential that our design provides for such features in an atmosphere of extreme stress, uncertainty, and even depression. There are also waiting areas and disinfection booths for the relatives before they enter this area. We also saw a lot of videos of patients dancing in their wards, which surfaced in Karnataka and Delhi during the peak lockdown period. So we thought of giving a multi-purpose and a breakout area for quarantine patients. And we want to also say that, as we emphasized earlier, on playing with the words containment and outbreak throughout our design. We would like to put it this way, that these breakout spaces that we designed have helped in return to contain the patient's complete outbreak, mentally and physically. Next slide. Talking about the details now, the steel details were designed such that they are comprehensive to even laymen, since maximum workforce would be required to construct fast with very less complications. The end wall section on the right emphasizes on the modular nature of the details. Castellated beams are used to support longer spans on the ground and first floor, while the perforations within help in accommodating all service ducts and oxygen lines. It also minimizes the overall weight of the beams for ease of transport. PCC flooring is done over metal decking, supported over ISMB 200 joists. ISHB 450 are used as stanchions. Use of box section for binders helps in avoiding cutting at beam-to-beam joinery, which again helps in saving time, ultimately. Cement board is screwed on the steel channel sections and is used for external cladding, while gypsum board is used for internal walls and the false ceiling. That's about this slide. Next slide. So the modules make judicious use of steel, which is evident in the exploded views. Our whole attributes that we focused on was modularity and flexibility. So talking about the modules, the cement board flooring is supported by box section binders and ISMB joists. The gypsum board cladding is held by aluminium channel mullions, while box sections are used for transims. Sheathing board and mineral wool filler is used for insulation. Provision of double and single rooms on the same footprint of 8x8 column grid was essential and has helped us achieve a staggered form in our facade. The tubular sections used for the structural canopy, which is seamlessly on the front of the structure, is left untreated with transparent covering to highlight the use of steel at the entrance of the structure itself. Next. Finally, talking about the sections and the elevations, we see that the horizontal spread and the vertical facade staggering of the structure can be made out here. The varied fronts and levels give a sense of dynamism to the whole form. And of course, the pandemic was not monotonous in its nature. So why would our design be? Which is why we have used color and the staggering facade to break the monotony of the whole facade, even though the entire structure is orthogonal. Ultimately, we feel that our aim of the design was to keep everyone apart, yet together in a way. So yeah, that is about the presentation. Let's move to the video, Vipra.
Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah, it is visible, yes.
Vipra, I think the audio is not.
Audio is not
is
clear.
not heard. I
Not
think
happening.
Vipra, you can go back and show the
Just
recent one.
check one.
Yeah, somebody can do the commentary.
Or
So the
else,
commentary is recorded, sir.
Yeah,
It's
but
actually
that recording is not coming properly.
Siddharth, can you present us?
Yes, sir. So
One second, let me present.
represent and try. Yeah.
Yes.
Let me know if it's heard now.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Why this site? Connectivity to the Pune-Nashik highway, scope of expansion, nearby quarantine facilities to cater to, currently an exhibition ground, hence well maintained. Ground floor construction begins. Separate cores for different users. first floor construction begins. Hybrid construction, a combination of in situ for the ground and first floors and prefabricated modules for the upper floors, is adopted. The prefabricated modules are then assembled on site. Four types of modules: one bedded, two bedded, three bedded, and corridor modules make up the entire structure. Simultaneous process of grid and modular construction is used to speed up the entire construction process. Time being at the crux of the scheme was hence of prime importance, and all strategies have been implemented to aid a fast and seamless construction process. The driveway drops you off at the wide plinth shaded under the magnificent canopy with separate entries for patients and relatives. The patient entrance opens up into the spacious triage where the segregation happens. Large waiting areas with proper segregated seatings, enough light, ventilation, and external connects are provided. The testing area encloses numerous booths essential for mass testing. External outdoor waiting area is provided for the relatives. The driveway of the ambulance leads you to the emergency zone, which has a separate direct access. The emergency zone consists of a separate waiting area, minor OTs, and the emergency ward. The ward is well lit and spacious with properly segregated beds and nurse stations provided at focal points for easy surveillance. The circulation spaces have been doubled to accommodate stretcher beds in case of outbreak. The rooms are designed with an intention to give the patients a homely feeling. Each room looks into the central courtyard where the patients are visually connected with each other and with nature. The idea is to keep them engaged even in the times of isolation. The general wards have units of 4 beds placed in a 8x8 grid. Here too, optimizing light given a priority. The glass screening between the two waitings keeps them apart yet connected. The relative score takes them up to the thoughtfully designed space which brings together patients with their loved ones within the screen-separated booths. The color, the stagger, the courtyards, the orientation, everything has been designed keeping the users in mind. The oxygen plant and the incinerator are placed at the fag end of the site. The canopy seamlessly runs along the whole structure. The doctor's residence is placed at the back with a direct access to the doctor's entry. The deck acts as a breakout space for the doctors. Ultimately, the aim of the design is to keep everyone apart yet connected.
Yes,
We are
sir,
done.
we're done.
So have you completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now over to juries. Dr. Deshmukh first.
I'm quite impressed by the way you approach this design. Very straightforward, simple, modular, and at the same time lightweight. If you So
Yes.
that's a very good thing. In fact, I liked your overall way of approach, and also you've taken into account the isolation of patients. So sitting have been made quite wide so that uh, while walking you don't get direct contact, or you have a respectable distance between two people. I think most of the things have been very appropriately covered in this. So you have really approached it from the point of view of how the project can be appropriately executed in the given time. So that is what I have liked in this design. Okay, so
Thank you,
thank you
sir.
very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am Dasgupta.
Yes. Siddharth and Avani and team, nice presentation. I like your concept of staggered yet, together. And you have created, functionality, spaces according to the functionality. So that's also you have fine, absolutely. But can you go into the plans once? Yes. Now, these suppose doctors unit and other some parts are not outside. It's not ventilated. You have to put AC in it. Is it? Is it?
Yes, ma'am. For the
On the ground floor, most of the spaces are ventilated. Just in the center, there is a lab storage area where there is just a storage behind the waiting in the orange zone of the diagnostics. So
Yeah,
that is
some
not
part.
ventilated.
So
But other-
diagnostics require AC connection, so that's why it is planned accordingly.
Okay, fine. What will be the height of your building?
Height is around 25 meters. It is 25 meters.
And what are those yellow masses that come out from your building, which you said that gives breaks monotony? So what
Yeah.
what are the what is
Yes,
how
ma'am.
it's reflected in the plan?
Yeah.
What are the use?
Avni, can you go to the fourth floor and fifth floor? Next plan. Actually, ma'am, there are two kinds of rooms which we have provided. One is single bedded and double bedded. So the double bedded room is protruding out by 2 meters. So we have provided an additional protrusion which breaks the monotony of the facade. At the same time, it gives a character to the facade. So in that way, we have staggered the rooms. At the same time, it gives a good character from outside.
And if you see the basic grade of the module was designed to be 4x6. So the single bedded room is the basic grade. And to add a bed, we got this extra space that we needed to provide. And this space in turn provided us with the staggers that provided the dynamism to the structure.
And your structure is steel, and you have got infill that panels, but you have used gypsum for the interior, right?
Yes, ma'am. 20 mm gypsum boards for interior finish.
But maybe not in all spaces you can use
Yes.
gypsum.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. In case of diagnostic areas, X-ray spaces where there are concrete walls required, at those places shear walls and concrete walls will be constructed. Because cores are also of concrete, they are building up and building up. They are shear walls. So in that way, some part can be RCC.
So, ma'am, even like the design was an hybrid design. So the spaces that are planned where the grid of steel is formed, there the main diagnostics areas and all are created so that the walls can be constructed in concrete. Whereas for the modules, we have proposed this partition wall so that the modules prefabricated and then brought to site and assembled.
As basically lower levels require huge spaces, large amount of space, larger floor space area. So we have used 8 by 8 grid. And similarly, as we go above those, there are modules. So by the time the lower part is getting constructed, the modules can be prefabricated on the factory. Then they can be directly brought on site and assembled. So there is a simultaneous process happening. How building is constructed, like the modules are constructed at the site and the building is constructed at the site. So
So it's nice. Even in the presentation, you've shown the interiors, you've detailed out the interiors, how it is looking. And I think it is a nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
And I go on to the next jury, Dr. Sarkar.
Hello. The participants in this group have done a really nice job. It is very well planned hospital. And from the point of view of the hospital services, I think they are quite successful. Best of luck to the participants.
Thank you
Nothing
so
much.
much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Bhattacharya.
The thing which impressed me is your construction simulation. So that is what I want to appreciate. And a question came to my mind. Can you tell me, are you using any specific software, or from where this simulation you have done?
There are
So,
3D
sir,
softwares and renders like SketchUp and Rhino.
So we have used Rhino for the model, and then it was rendered on Lumion for the walkthrough. Then again, the animation was made on another software, SketchUp. And then all of them were combined using a separate video combination.
Video editing software. So there are different kinds of softwares involved.
Okay, so Lumion is also one of the major things you are using.
yeah, for the
Yeah.
walkthrough, it is Lumion. For the main
Okay.
animation that you like, sir, SketchUp, you set the scenes and then you get the
Get the
animation
snap.
as required.
I give you one normal feedback. Nowadays, in any international projects, wherever we are working, we are finding the demand from the client side and the builder is that if you can give an video of simulating your construction, the bid, their part of the work becomes much easier. And we have seen with video, without video, the prices are changing. So for that reason, this construction simulation part impressed me, because this is practical. This is all of the day. This is what nowadays the builders are asking. I need to understand how you have planned. I need to build. So that is the part I want to appreciate.
That was the main part of the brief also. So
And your
construction in
concept of
100.
hybrid thing is structurally feasible, is practical. So that is also thing that core is going on concrete, some steel is going on, some prefabricated modules are all coming. So you are bringing in various elements
Yes,
for
sir.
time saving. It's okay, and the look is also very practical. But I would not say that it is very different, but it is very practical, and the overall thing is well thought out.
So actually, the main thing which we have to focus in a hospital planning is the functionality. Or else the functionality is not there, then the hospital doesn't work only. So that was the one main thing
It
which we
came
got
out.
to know right at the start of the
It
project.
came out.
So that was the main aim.
The functionality and the construction being quick, those were our two
And
main focus.
finally, having spaces which were very open and rectilinear on the inside, because finally the experience for the patients on the inside is also very important. So we had to think about everything, right from the exterior approach to how we go about on the inside. So
Yes,
that's how we
sir,
went
because
about it.
patients, like when they are staying there for 15 days, the only thing they can associate to is the outer world, the movement of the sun. So that played an important role in how we wanted to design our structure.
It was evident. It came out well. I appreciate. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, jury. Thank you, team WA04